What up, what up, what up, doe? What up, doe? It's your girl, Zsa Zsa, and you are tuning in, listening to Yeah, I Said It. Y'all already know. Before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, I hope you're having a great day because you already know it's Thankful Thursdays. We ain't in nobody's jail. We ain't in nobody's hospital. We got the activities of our limbs. Listen, it's cold in the D, for sure, for sure. It's definitely cold in the D. But listen, ain't nothing colder than the morgue. Okay? Ain't nothing colder than the morgue. And if you find a place that's colder, you let me know. Because listen, they want to make sure that they reserve and preserve all that they can to keep us where they want to keep us. But listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. Listen, if you're tuning in, I'm talking to you today about don't start none, it won't be none. Okay? Listen, it's a new year. It's the first Thursday of 2022. What it do? Listen, I'm your girl Zsa Zsa, and I'm telling you right now, okay? This is my motto. Don't start none, it won't be none. Because I'm gonna tell you something. People know how to act accordingly. People act accordingly to who they want to act accordingly to and for. You ever been around somebody who knows how to be on their best behavior, or they know how to act a certain type of way? I've always been raised to treat everybody like they were important, to treat everybody like they were the same. And it didn't have anything to do with a title. It had nothing to do with a position. It had nothing to do with any of those things. Because when you actually value the people that God has put in your life to serve, whether it's through your creativity, through your food, through your doing makeup, whether it's doing hair, whatever the ministry that God gave you and the talent, it is not up for you to waste those talents on doing anything. And it's not up to you to decide who you want to treat like they're important and who you don't. See, a lot of us, they used this word all last year, people out here clout chasing. And honestly, everybody's a clout chaser. There's not one single person who doesn't want to be successful that doesn't chase clout. It may not be you they're chasing, but they're chasing something to get them in a position to where they are no longer, or where they desire to be. It's like those people who are doing underground mixtapes. They clout chasing somebody who's a mainstream so that they can be a mainstream artist. It's somebody who's doing makeup that's a makeup artist, and they following behind and looking and paying attention to the top makeup artists in the country. There's somebody who's an athlete, and they're looking around to see who's the best athlete and who they can copy off of and who they can follow. There are some people that are doing movies and scripts and TV shows. There are people that watch me all the time and want to get advice and want to find out what I'm doing. I don't look at them as being clout chasers. I look at them as being success chasers. Because who in this world wants to be unsuccessful in a world that's already conducive to us being at the bottom? If anything, if somebody gives you enough attention and focus and thinks highly enough of you, why would you act like you so such and much where you can't help them out? Pull them up. We marched all last year, all 2020, as we continue to see our people get lynched. Little girl right here in the state of Michigan got pushed in Lake Michigan. Ain't nobody talking about that. Why ain't nobody talking about that? A little girl from South Haven High School, or she lived in South Haven, was pushed in the Lake Michigan. Like, black people ain't jumping in the water in the wintertime. We barely jumping in the water in the summertime. You know how we are about our hair and about our whole little thing. We look cute by the water, but we ain't jumping in no water. So what that tells me is that there are things that we aren't putting as a priority and not paying attention to because we're focused on telling somebody they clout chasing. Y'all are the dumbest people I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Because at the end of the day, we all want better for ourselves. If you're a parent, you want better for your children. You're not going to hang around dummies and crackheads and drug pushers around your kids. You want to be around people who are doing great things. So then it tells me people are afraid of your greatness. When people say things like, oh, she just trying to get on, or they just trying to do this. Well, what else I'm supposed to be doing? What would make you feel better about how I chase my dream? Just like what would make a person feel comfortable for you to chase yours? People always have this decisions of what they think is best for somebody else's journey. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking all about don't start none, won't be none. Because, last year, I dealt with a lot of different things that happened, and it was just happening. My son graduated from high school and had to get him in college, and I started my TV show, and I was transitioning as a mother, as a parent, as a woman. I was in a relationship that I shouldn't have been in. That right now I got to sue him to get my footage because he want to hold my footage hostage because I don't want to sleep with him no more. These are the type of things that I had to go through last year, but I ain't doing that this year. Don't start none, it won't be none. Because see, some people will test the waters and think that you won't walk on water like Peter. See, Peter asked Jesus when he saw Jesus walking on the water. He said, Jesus, was that you? That's you out there, Jesus. Because Peter was out there trying to catch some fish. So Jesus was like, you know what? Come on out here, Peter, so you can see that it is me. And see, sometimes people will test you thinking that you ain't about what you say you are. This is why when you operate, you have to create an environment. See, when I go places and I do certain things, I create a vibe. I am a vibe. And when you are a vibe and you're creating a vibe, people don't like that. And it's a sad thing to say, but it's some of the people that are your peers. Some of the people that are older than you that should be pulling you up, not pushing you down. People that are in a much better place than you or a better position than you should want to see you win. If they don't want to see you win, then something's wrong with them. Any person that doesn't want to see you win, something's wrong with them. Any person that doesn't want to see you win in 2022, and I mean for real, I ain't talking about that little pity pat, oh, I support you, you want to DM me and tell me I'm doing, no, make it public. Because there are a lot of private conversations that should have been held in public. And see, I don't have time to play no games with these people. Not one single cent do I have. Because at the end of the day, you end up stressing yourself out, trying to make other people happy who ain't thinking about trying to make you happy. See, one of the things that I learned as I transitioned, and if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking all about don't start none, won't be none. Because this is the thing. We live in a day and time where people are extra hard and heartless, but yet they got all the feelings and emotions in the world. Which side of the map are you on? 1 minute, you hardcore, hard as ice. Then the next minute, now you got feelings and you all emotional. Listen, I'm going to need you to pick a side and stay there, okay? And at the end of the day, when you create that environment where people can learn from you and get that tutelage from you, it's a welcoming feeling. It's a welcoming feeling because people want to be around people that they can glean from, that they can learn from. Right now, I'm formulating some things and working with some partners and some strategic partnerships that I started working with on last year. And we're getting ready to really do some amazing things this year as we build each other up, because you don't just want an accountability partner, somebody that's going to have check and balances, but you want people that you can learn from. Where you have weaknesses, they have those as strengths. And where they have weaknesses, guess what? You fall in with your strengths. There are people that I know who have some amazing businesses, but their speaking skills are tragic. How do you plan on talking about your business, discussing the amazing products that you have, but you don't know how to talk? So now I offer opportunities to teach people how to speak. That's coming. Because at the end of the day, people want to feel you. They want to feel your passion. They want to feel what you're all about. They want to understand, okay, what is this person or this business or this opportunity all about? And when you have the ability to share that information, it takes you to another level. And the blessing is that if you really want to go to the level, God will put you in a place, in a position with people that'll put you there. I have had some amazing opportunities from people who did some really amazing things for me because I was in position to do them. And see, when you start putting yourself in position and being around the right people, and it ain't about clout chasing, it's about being around the right people. You won't get the right thing if you're around the wrong people. This is one of the reasons why you got to humble yourself, right? You got to humble yourself enough and put that ego aside, because there were some situations that I thought, oh, I'm smart. You know, I can do this. I can handle this. I can do certain things. But then God said, no, there are going to be some things you're going to have to ask help for. There are going to be some situations that you're going to need some support. There are going to be some times and some situations where you're going to have people in your life that can do some things that you cannot do. They can have some conversations in some places that you cannot have. And this is one of the reasons why we cannot look at each other as enemies. What does it benefit me to look at you as an enemy when we both trying to get our people out of poverty? If that's what you really saying you're trying to do. If you really trying to say that Black Lives Matter and the people matter, you put your ego and you put your pride aside and you do things for the greater common good of the land of the people. But see, everybody ain't for the common good. See, there are some people who only want to be stars. And I know this because I'm in TV, I'm in media. And this is the thing. I've been a star before the camera was even on me. Okay. And these are things you got to know about you. You got to know that you are great before you have a title, before you have a position, because the minute that you get one, you are going to switch up. You're going to switch up. It's just a matter of time. When people are more focused on the power and the position that they hold and not the impact that they're trying to make, things get lost in translation. Because now we're trying to figure out, are you really trying to help the people or are you really trying to put yourself on? This is why it's important to create an environment where people can trust you, okay? Trust that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. You a man and a woman of your word. You ain't out here making false promises. You ain't out here telling your kids lies. Oh, I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to take you to Chuck E. Cheese. And then here come Friday and they ready to go to Chuck E. Cheese. And then here you talking about, oh, I got a date. You ain't a man of your word. You ain't a woman of your word. When you say you're going to do something, you better do it. Or say you can't. If you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. I'm talking all about don't start none and it won't be none. Because our community needs true leadership, not leadership looking for power and leadership that's looking for limelight. See, if you walking in the light that God gave you, which is everybody has their own divine light. See, this is why people say Black people can't work together, which is a lie. We can work together long as you value and respect the people you're working with. See, when you respect the people and value the people you're working with, you gonna humbly work and be a willing participant. If Jay-Z say, I need a team, oh, you ain't gonna be in there talking about, I ain't listening to Jay-Z. Who Jay-Z think he is? No, you're gonna be like, what you need me to do, Sean, Mr. Carter? What, do I call you Mr. Z, Mr. J? What you need me to do? See, because you value what he brings to the table. And see, at the end of the day, when you know that people are doing great things in the community, or at least trying their best, who are you? Who are you to try to belittle and little dog what they're doing? That's why I make it my priority to support Black-owned business, because I know how hard it is to launch, to have not, to want, to need, to be sitting here trying to figure it out, how you gonna work it out, and on top of all of that, who can I trust? Who can I share my ideas with, and I ain't gotta worry about you trying to take my ideas and then go build it with somebody else. These are the things that I love, and I hate to just mention Sean Carter or Jay-Z, but I love the fact that when he gave his speech, he thanked Dame Dash. And the reason why he had to thank him, he didn't have to, but when you're honorable, right? You thank those people that you start off with. Now, you may not always end up with those people, because sometimes everybody has different visions of what they want to accomplish. Sometimes y'all start off as one, right? And then it just kind of merges and everybody's not on the same page. It's the same thing with marriage, same thing with friendships, same thing with relationships. I've been a wedding officiant for 10 years this year. This year, it'll be a whole decade that I have been a wedding officiant. And I've been doing this year as a witness for weddings, it'll be 12 years. Out of the 12 years that I have been in the wedding industry, I see all the time how people get that are unequally yoked, trying to yoke together, and it doesn't work. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I said it, and before I take it back, I'm gonna add more to it. Listen, it's your girl Zsa Zsa, and I'm talking all about don't start none and it won't be none. Listen, make sure you follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Zsa Zsa, because as many followers as you have on your Facebook, as many followers as you have on your Instagram should be the same amount of followers you got on your YouTube. We should just be doing a YouTube, Instagram, Facebook train, LinkedIn, boop, 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 like everybody's, boop, 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 follow everybody's, boop, 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 boop. Because see, one of the things that y'all will do, y'all will clout chase people y'all don't even know. Now that's the problem. You clout chasing people that you don't know and ain't thinking about you. But the people you do know, that you do know that are doing great things, you ain't even gonna be bothered with them. Oh, I don't want to be bothered with her. She over here trying to start a TV show and da-da-da-da-da and woo, 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 woo. Well, why not? Why would you not want to link up with me? Why would you not want us to be strategic partners? You know why? Because there are people who only want to be the star in the sky. Father Abraham is the father of many nations. He created all the stars. Well, God created all the stars. But at the end of the day, how do you anticipate us penetrating the economic system within this country or within this world for that matter when you can't even work with your own neighbor? The Bible says, how can you say you love God, but you hate your neighbor? You don't even know me. You ain't seen me. You feel me, but you see your neighbor every day. How do you see people struggling, trying to make it, but you comfortable in your little bubble? This is why when I look at certain situations, and I think to myself, we can't get Detroit to a place of an Atlanta love until we start loving each other for real. See, I show love to people because that's all I have to offer is love. Okay? I ain't got no money to give you right now. If I did, I might, depending on what it is. But right now, what I got to give you is loyalty. I got love. I got friendship. I got prayer. I got support. I got some resources. But that's what I got, right? That's what I can bring you for sure. Hands down, eyes closed, tied up. I know that I can do that. And see, one of the things that I've noticed here in the city of Detroit is that we are a city of starving stars and hungry hustlers, and everybody is about that life. Everybody's living their best life like it's golden, and we know you ain't. See, I know a lot of people, and I know how they living for real. That's just like people who know me know how I live for real. I am who I say I am. This ain't no faking on your front over here. And if I deal with you, I deal with you. And if I don't deal with you, there's a reason why the Spirit, Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, anointing, intuition, whatever it is, The divine has told me your energy and your vibe is off. Something ain't right with you, and I don't want to be connected to that right now. That don't mean that you are a bad person. It don't mean that you know we got beef. But there comes to a place in your life where you got to say, you know what? Something is on you that I don't want on me. And I know where God has given me and commissioned me to go. And right now, we not on the same page. So when you understand that, you can show love and still keep it moving. See, we ain't got to the point where we can still show love and keep it moving. Now you trying to cock block, causing obstructions in other people's lives, causing problems because your feelings hurt instead of having the conversation. And we do that. And if you tuning in, you're listening to I said it, and before I take it back, I'm gonna add more to it. I'm talking all about don't start none and it won't be none. Because this is the thing. A lot of people do a lot of this, but they don't back it up. We got a lot of talkers in the D. I mean, they run their mouth diarrhea Detroit. Because they just be running. Everything that I said I was going to do, I did. I said I'm getting some billboards, I got them. I said I wanted this, I got it. I said I was going to plan to do that, I did it. Now, what other people did in the process may have slowed me down. I had to maybe put some stuff on the shelf until I can rearrange my strategy, okay? Sometimes you have to eliminate certain partnerships that are not having a return on your investment. Sometimes you got to end friendships that don't have a return on your investment. I remember being friends with people that wasn't no friend of me. I was the friend in the ship, okay? We was both, there was a ship, but I was the only friend in it. I was the friend steering the boat. I was the friend doing the anchor. I was the friend sailing. I was the friend figuring it out. Because see, this is the thing when people value you. And this is why we can't get to in Atlanta. Because see, they understand the value of you just being black. Forget a title. They know that there's a struggle. And regardless of what economic status that you belong to, your skin color ain't gonna change. Even when Michael Jackson changed his skin color, even when Lil' Kim changed her nose, guess what? It didn't stop her from being black. You can bleach your skin till you see through, okay? Ain't no clear on your ethnicity. There's no clear on there. It's black, African American, what is it, Asian, what is it, white, Caucasian, what Native American. It's no clear on there. So no matter how light skin you think you get, how cute you think you are, no matter how much your economic status is, guess what? You gonna be put 6 feet under or in a box just like everybody else. Just like everybody else. And you better hope that the life that you living on this God green earth is worth something. Because I'm gonna tell you something. When I look at my ancestors and I look at the people who actually struggle, see, y'all think y'all struggling because I ain't got the new iPhone. I had to tell my son, Negro, what? Boy, you better get out my face. You want DTE or you want a video game? Because at the end of the day, honey, we can't cook with a video game. I can't cook with a video game. So you want DTE, lights and gas, or you want the video game? Sometimes you got to make some adult decisions that require disappointing people. And if you're tuning in, I'm talking all about don't start none and it won't be none. Because when you understand that disappointing people is a part of the process and the plan for your life, you won't take certain things to heart. You won't feel some type of way. And see, I'm going to tell you something. We never know who our enemies are until they become our enemies. You didn't know who didn't like you until you found out who didn't like you. You didn't know you was beefing with somebody until they started acting weird. You didn't know that he was going to cheat on you or she was going to cheat on you until you started seeing suspicious behaviors. See, this is the thing about life. God does not show you who's going to block you. He don't show you who's going to be your enemy right away. You got to learn these things about people. That's why I don't trust everybody. I'm not putting my faith in man because man will fail you. I look at what you say and then I look at what you do. Because there are a lot of people who say a lot of stuff. I told you, people got diarrhea of the mouth in Detroit. And at the end of the day, people do a whole bunch of talking. They'll talk about you like a dog. And the minute you walk in the room, oh, hey, I know you was just talking about me. I can smell it. I'm an empath. I know I can feel things. And it's a very, very dangerous gift that God will give you when you can look a person square in their eye and I know you ain't shit. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, y'all already know I'm going to add more to it. You can look a person square dead in their eye and know what tip they on. You will know if you in tune, but if you ain't in tune, if your balance is off, if your mind is off, if your spirit is off, you can't be in tune. See, there are some things that an antenna needs adjusting to. I don't know what era you grew up in, but I grew up in an era where we still had box TVs. I ain't old. Okay, I'm still in my 30s. Still look good. But we had a box TV where you had to get up and press the buttons or turn the knob, or we just had got remote controls. And sometimes when the picture was distorted, right? Because sometimes God will give you a picture of something, but it ain't clear. Or he'll give you a snippet of something, but you don't know the rest. And see, when you have that antenna, right, that had two things, and when you made those adjustments with the antenna, right, now you got a clearer picture. And see, sometimes even the antenna didn't do it. Sometimes you had to hit the TV on the side. Oh, y'all ain't had no raggedy. I'm the only person that had a raggedy TV. My mama was the only single mama out here trying to make ends meet. Okay, y'all funny. Y'all always have flat screen TVs. I forgot. You know what I'm saying? Everybody rich in Detroit. My bad. I'm the only person that grew up all Intervale in the hood off Wisconsin, North Line. I ain't the only person that is off Linwood and Dexter. I ain't the only person that came from the number streets. I ain't the only person that came from Joy Road to 7 Mile. So at the end of the day, sometimes we don't know who our enemies are until we get a clear picture. And sometimes you're going to have to start asking God to show you who are the people around me who are either mean right for me or don't mean me no good. Because when enemies come up to you and they come against you, and this has happened to me, and I'm only telling you this because it's happened to me. I ain't going to tell you nothing that I have not experienced myself. See, when you find out who your enemies are, it slows your process down because your feelings get hurt. And now you mind boggle because now you starting to replay all the times you done spent with these people and you trying to figure out, dang, was they playing me the whole time? Now your wall is up. Now you guarded. And now you can't even have prosperous, great relationships with people who do mean you good because now you got trust issues. Because the people that you really trusted or thought had your best interest at heart didn't have your best interest at heart at all. And so now every time you turn around, you got to figure out, okay, what this person on. And this is one of the reasons why I come with good energy all the time. And if your energy don't mix with my energy, it ain't going to work. You know when you taste bad Kool-Aid, when the sugar ain't balanced, when you don't have enough water, when you need another pack, when you know when the Kool-Aid mixture is right. You be like, woo, this Kool-Aid good. When the mixture's right, when the energy's good, things just flow, even when things are off, even when things are missing. I've been in situations where camera didn't have an SD card, ran out of storage. I gotta whip out my phone. But see, when your energy is right, God will let things and ideas flow in your mind. And where you lack, like I said earlier, this is when you know it's divine. Where you lack in areas, that is somebody else's strength. This is why we got to understand we need each other in this season. These white folks that bought up our city, and the people in power and position let them do it. This is why I'm not excited. I ain't congratulating not a single soul. I sent out text messages and DMs and I said, stay focused on the goal and make sure you stay prayed up. because it's easy to get caught up in titles and positions when you out here supposed to be taking care of your business. And see, if we not careful, we'll let these people in power who we think have our best interests at heart because they look like us. They hanging out at the parties with us. They bringing celebrities in the cities for us. But then when it come down to stuff we really need, we don't get nothing. Wait, so you mean to tell me you ain't keep nothing for us? So you mean to tell me that you was put in position by us to work for us and you ain't got nothing for us? That don't make no sense. You telling me that we put you in office, okay? Or we appointed you in a position and you were supposed to be there to represent us. And then when it came down to you representing us, you got you a deal out the situation? You hooked yourself up? This is why I pay attention to what people do. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. Listen, make sure that you tune in each and every Thursday for Yeah, I Said It. Listen, I got an event tomorrow. It's First Friday's poetry night at my office. If you know where it is, come on through. If you don't know where it is, DM me, okay? Because I don't want no negative energies. We're doing the First Friday's poetry night every Friday. Listen, I know COVID rates are high is what they telling you. And this is one of the reasons why my whole desire, I don't know why God gave me the desire to do TV or gave me the desire to do media. And then as I learned it, y'all, as I understood it more, as I understood its power and its value, media is never going nowhere. It's going to be here forever. Entertainment will never go anywhere. It's going to be here forever. But there are some jobs and there are some positions that won't be. So while people getting comfortable, they building robots to replace you. You at the plant shucking and jiving with the man. And it ain't no shade because I know you doing what you got to do. But see, a lot of us get comfortable because we think we doing better than other people. And what you don't realize is that there's a whole shift coming, okay, that we can't stop. You know why we can't stop it? Because we're not in a position to. We don't need no more hair salons. We don't need no more barbershops. We barely support the ones that are open. We need people in technology. We need people in the judicial system, some lawmakers, some policy makers, okay? We need some people, some old Black people on the police force. My sister just went for police training. She was the only Black person. Did y'all hear me? The class she went to was for Detroit Police Department to be a police. And she was the only Black person. You know who all was there? White people. That don't live in Detroit. That's ready to put you Negroes in jail. You don't think, why else would a white person want to come to a Black city to be a cop? Why they ain't a cop in their own city? You know why? Because they put people in position to win. White people do it all day long. They are very strategic. They are very strategic. We put a plan together and a play together, and the next thing you know, you done changed the whole play. You done changed the whole situation. How did we go from this is the play and this is what we're supposed to be doing to, oh, no, I don't want to do it that way? What? How? How are you saying that we are supposed to be working this thing and doing this thing together, but then you turn around and you're not following a strategic plan? This is why when I look at certain people in life and I think, oh, you're for the greater good, you're for for us. How are you for us if you're not following the plan? And the plan is we don't own nothing. So because we don't own nothing, that means we need to put people in position to own something. We got all these little business grants. Why haven't the business grant people help people open up hospitals for Black people? Why haven't the grant companies and these little organizations help people start grocery stores and open up supermarkets? Why haven't these organizations really stepped to play and put together. It was a young man who was trying to open up a grocery store. I don't know if he did it or not, but we'll laugh at that stuff. And that ain't funny. That ain't funny. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking all about don't start none and it won't be none. Because at the end of the day, when you step up to the plate like a batter, and you got people on the first base, second base, third base, and they ready to hit the home run, and here you come. Your job is to knock that ball out the park so that everybody can get that home run. You don't get to the plate and decide that you want to change the play at the last minute when the coach is at the fourth quarter of the game and you got a minute or a few seconds left and he put a timeout and he put everybody in a huddle and he say, this is what the play going to be. This is what we going to do. This is how we going to do it. And this is what we need to do. And if you do it this way, we going to win the game. Then you come, want to try to be the star. Now you didn't miss the play because you didn't follow the strategic plan. We lose every time in our community because we keep looking at each other like enemies instead of looking at each other as collaborators, complementary to one another. Everywhere I go, somebody's complimenting me on something. And guess what I do? I compliment them back because this ain't a one-side street. And see, there are a lot of people who only want things their way. It's only a one way. One way. One way. I had to shut down some family members. You mean to tell me you could talk about my sister being in the hospital, but you couldn't call her to check on her and see if she was okay? One way. One way. Friendships that don't mean you no good. You doing more of the friending in the ship than they are. One way. It's a one way. And see, I don't need nobody around me that's only focusing on one way. Yeah, we focused on one mission. And there are multiple ways to skin a cat. But see, you got to be mindful. You got to be mindful of those things. And you got to be mindful and pay attention to the switcheroos. When people can switch up on you at a drop of a dime, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Now, mind you, okay, there is a code that we had to become accustomed in learning, you know. Back in the day, they would say we're talking white. You know, and it wasn't that we were talking white. We just had to understand that there are certain positions that you speak a certain language, right? And they speak that language. Techies don't talk to hairdressers in the same language. There's a language that techies use. That's just like there's a language that mentors use. There's a language that media uses. There's a language in certain industries that you use. And depending on if you are a person who understands what it means to speak the language of the people that you are responsible for. When I go into a professional setting, I'm the same Zsa Zsa I am on Joy Road or 7 Mile that I am in that setting, okay? It don't mean that I'm in there being ghetto or being a Quanisha or whatever it is, but it does mean that I'm being myself to a point where they understand I am not for no games. And this can go, it can go either way. We can make this thing go smooth and easy, or we can make this thing real hard. Now, I ain't come here to make it hard or difficult. So let me do what I do. And see, when you understand that, you can speak to the people under the bridge that's homeless. You can speak to the youth in the community. You could go and sit and talk with the elders. And none of those things will bother you. You know why? Because you understand the language. And when you understand the language and you value the people who you serving, you want to understand the language. See, I have a child that's a young man now. And see, I'm not a man. And I was a woman raising a boy. So I had to understand his lingo. I had to get down there and understand Hot Wheels, and I had to understand anime. And I'm not a fan of it, but I had to understand it so that I could speak his language. I had to listen to the Icewear Vezos and the XX Tenacion, and I had to listen to the Kodak Blacks and the rap music, because now I got to understand what my son listening to, so that way I can speak his language. When you have a child that's an athlete, and you dropping them off at practicing and they doing certain things, you got to understand the lingo so that you can be able to speak their language and be effective. My 2 words for 2022, and if you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking all about don't start none, won't be none. My 2 words for 2022 is impact and income. Last year, my 2 words were visible and unforgettable, or impact. What did I say? It was memorable and visual, or one of those 2. It was one of those. But either way it go, it was to be seen. My whole goal last year was be visible as much as possible and be remembered as much as possible. There are people who want to act like you don't have value because they want to little dog you. And there are some people who understand that they can do just enough to keep you around. Give you a little compliment. Oh, you be thinking about it all day. He complimented me. She complimented me. Yeah. No, they do just enough to say, in case you get that $1 million contract, just in case you get that opportunity that you didn't think you was going to get. People stick around just enough. They do barely enough just to stick around. You got to be careful of those people that you know can do more. First of all, I've been a wife, so ain't no way in HE double hockey sticks I'm going to let you make me be a lifetime girlfriend. Sorry, not happening to me. I know women that been engaged for 10 years. Sis, when you get married? You've been engaged longer than I've been a wedding officiant. What's happening here? How you gonna let this man ruin the best years of your life sitting around what? What are you doing, girl? You gonna let this man waste your time, your energy? Not when the next man that really love you and really want to be with you, you can't even appreciate it because you done let this man dog you out, beat you up, mess with your kids, do all kind of crazy stuff. Listen, come on, what we doing here? What we doing? Because at the end of the day, people still dying. They still killing them. They still killing us. We still black. That's whack. We know that. And what we doing? What are we doing? That's the question. Okay? What are we doing? Are we sitting around talking about what's happening? Or are we going to stand up and make something happen? Because I'm going to tell you something. When you mean what you say what you mean, ain't nothing that can stop you. I told my son that you was going to have the best senior year that you ever had. Them Gucci shoes you wanted in the 10th grade that I couldn't afford, he got them. Them Yeezys that he wanted in 11th grade, he got 3 pair. That Gucci belt that he wanted in 9th grade, got 2 of those. Because I made a promise and I said, I don't care come hell or high water, I got to keep my promise and mean what I say and say what I mean. And see, a lot of times we will spread information that we don't know if it's true. We will regurgitate information and we ain't did no research. That's why when I look at people and they talk about all the stuff that's going on, and you got to do your research. What research did you do? You Googled it like everybody else. And last time I checked, Google is owned by a company, which is owned by people, which means it's flawed, which means people can put anything that they want to put on there. Hell, they could change Wikipedia. So how much information do you really have on the subject matter? This is why the greats study the greats. It ain't about no clout chasing. It's about making things happen and having a collaborative effort to get something accomplished that our community is lacking. Why we always got to be the last? Why we always got to figure it out? Why we always got to be struggling? And you know, I was talking to one of my homegirls the other day, and I was just talking about, you know, thinking about how far I've come in life. You know, My goal was to never stay somewhere too long and don't ever be somewhere where I ain't wanted. I want to be around people who celebrate me because I want to celebrate them. I don't want people rounding their nose up at me and barely want to deal with you. I don't want you to deal with me then. If this is the type of energy that I got to get from you, I'm straight. And see, when you understand that about yourself, you ain't going to stay places too long. You walk in, hey, everybody, how y'all doing? You walk in, do a walkthrough, and you gone. Okay? I did what I came to do. Showed my face. Okay? Came to support. Put up the peace sign, got me a drink, maybe ate a few pieces of chicken or something. You know what I'm saying? And then I went on about my day. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to pick up the pieces and keep it moving. There are times in my life as a mother that I didn't know how we was going to make it. But I knew we was going to make it. And I wasn't going to sit there and let us not make it. So whatever we had to do what we needed to do, I did it. Now, sometimes when you do certain things in life, it may not always be the best decision. You may not always feel as comfortable with certain decisions that you've made about your own life. And this is why sometimes you got to have a real ninja conversation with yourself. And a lot of people, y'all ain't doing that. That's why self-accountability is at all-time low. And then when somebody holds you accountable, oh, that ain't my friend. No, I am your friend. I'm holding you accountable because I'm your friend. See, I'm not a yes girl. And see, there are some people in life that want people around them. Yes, sir, master. Yes, sir. Yeah, I do what you want me to do. I goes where you want me to go. No, we ain't doing that. That's going to put our life in jeopardy. No, we ain't doing that either. I don't think that's a good look for you. Well, why you say that? Because I'm saying it. Either you're going to listen to me as your friend or you not. Because at the end of the day, you want people around you that you can trust. And see, there are a lot of people around a lot of people that ain't trustworthy. They ain't trustworthy. They'll tell your whole business to the paparazzi. You think you can trust them because they holding up your banner. They got your coat. They checking your emails. They showing up to dinner for you. Nah, baby. The people that's going to tell you the stuff you don't want to hear, them the people you need in your life. The people that's going to say, didn't you say you were working on your diet? I ain't trying to hurt your feelings, but I want you to be healthy. I want you to stay alive. I want you to love yourself. I want you to be just as confident when you walk out the door as me. I don't want you frowning up at me when you seeing me with my sexy on and you feel some type of way because you're sexy off. But see, we'll do that. Because we want yes people around us. We want people that's going to make us feel good in our serotonin and make all this up here feel, oh. You need people around you that's going to check you, whether you like it or not. Because if a person is checking you to be better or pushing you to be better, who are you to put up a wall and a blockage? But see, people do that. People do that. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I said it before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, this February 12th through the 13th, me and my partner, S-Star Event Planning, we are United Vows and S-Star. We are doing a Galentine's event. And listen, I want you and your girls to come out. I know COVID is high, so they say. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we still got to live our lives and we got to live them safely. That doesn't mean be reckless. That don't mean don't wash your hands. That don't mean don't 6 feet. And also mean don't be doing stuff with people that you wouldn't normally do. You out here smoking a blunt with somebody. You better have your own blunt. You out here passing a hookah. Sir, just because you changed the mouthpiece, that's still the same oxygen. So when you understand your position and you value yourself, you don't put yourself in situations where it's going to devalue others. Let me tell you something. Everybody that I work with, I value them because I know they bring something to the table that I may not be able to bring. But then you can't look at somebody else like, who are they? Because see, the very people you think can bring something to the table, they ain't bringing nothing but they mouth. A lot of people, I told you, it's a lot of diarrhea people in the D that they'll do more talking, okay, than showing up. When I go to host, I host. And I leave everything on the table when I get on that stage. I want to make you feel good. I want to make you smile. I want to make you laugh. I want you to feel nostalgic when I hear and talk about certain things because that's my passion. That's what I love to do. But see, when you're not passionate about something and you doing it for the wrong reasons, guess what'll happen? It'll crumble. It'll fall apart. And everything that you touch, you'll be trying to piece it together. And see, there was a point in my life where I played with this thing. And I ain't playing no more. I told you. If you tuning in, you're listening to I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I told you, don't start none, and it won't be none. You ain't about to play with my gift. You ain't about to play with my anointing. You ain't about to play with my time. You ain't about to play with my ministry. You ain't about to do none of that. None of it. Because at the end of the day, people will play with your blessings and your anointing and your gift as if they can replace that. Your swag is not replaceable. Your vibe is not replaceable. People think they can replace you, but they can't. They will talk themselves into a mud hole, and now they empty inside. Cause now your smile gone. You was the energy. You know, you was the blessing. You was the silent prayer warrior, and they ain't even know it. But then you wanna trade on me. This is why you gotta be mindful of who you link up with. Being equally yoked is not just a marriage thing. Being equally yoked is a life thing. I don't want nobody around me that don't have my best interests at heart. And the minute that I see you doing any snake thing or anything weird or anything that's making me question who you are, we got to have a conversation. And this is another thing. Y'all don't like having them heavy conversations. This is one of the reasons why I started my TV show, Uncommon Conversations, because at the end of the day, some of y'all don't want to have that real nigga conversation. Y'all say y'all do, but some of y'all ain't real. Y'all real fake. Y'all faker than my synthetic eyelashes. I ain't lying. Cause now, soon as somebody say something to you, your feelings hurt. Your ego and pride is bruised. Our ego and pride has been bruised since we've been kidnapped from our country. Do you know how hard it was for a black man to stand on a wooden box while his wife and his kids is being sold into slavery on another plantation and he may never see them again? Do you know how prideful a woman has to be to watch her baby get snatched out of her arm after she just gave birth and watch that baby be sold to another family that may not ever treat them the way that you would treat them? We got to do better. We say we know what we know, but we ain't doing what we say we know to do. If you know better, you do better. And you do right by people who you say you gonna do right by. This is why I pay attention to what people do, not what they say. You can get out, you can miss me with all that good day. You can miss me with all of that. I'm for the people, power to the, nah, miss me with all your speeches. Let me see what you talking about. What happened to the power to the people? What happened to these policies? What happened to these opportunities that you said you wanted to give to people? See, people will do things for the benefit of themselves, not for the good of the people who they say they serve. You want people to have a good time? When you want people to have a good time, you make the environment welcoming for people to have a good time. But when you don't want people to have a good time, guess what? You make them uncomfortable. And there are people who say, oh, girl, I want you to have a good time. Come have a good time. But then when you get there, they making you all uncomfortable. Well, why you invite me? If you was going to be acting funny, what you waste my time for? I could have got cute for somebody else. If I'd known that you was going to, that's why it's certain relationships that I don't want back. Certain friends I don't want back. No, don't miss me with all of that. You weird. I ain't got time. Nope. Because make it make sense. And I'm not talking about just CENTS sense. I'm talking about SENSE sense. If it ain't making dollars, it don't make sense. And at the end of the day, you want people that you can grow with, okay? And you want people that you can glow with. When you on the grow up and on the come up and on the glow up, you want people around you to feel that same vibe. That's why some people don't like Cash Doll or Jasmine Renee or Kendra. I don't really care about none of that. But I'm gonna tell you one thing's for sure, two things for certain. They make sure that everybody in the crew looking good. They make sure everybody in the crew got it. If you in the crew of whoever crew or group or whatever you with and whoever you with, if you got a problem with somebody shining, then you got a problem within yourself. Because one thing's for sure, two things for certain is anybody that I'm around, I want to see you win. Because you winning only trickles down to me winning, regardless if we ever come in contact or not. There are people that I meet from LA to New York. When I was in New York in September, and people was asking me, where you from? I'm like, I'm from the D. I'm from Detroit. You from the D? Word, that's what's up. And I'm just like, oh, snap. Like this the type of props, this the type of love that we get in other states. Went to LA. They asking me, where you from? From Detroit. What, you from Detroit? Yeah, from Detroit. But see, we get in here. Oh, where you from? Are you from the east side? Oh, these east side. Where you from? You from the west side? You from Brighton? Oh. You from the north end? You from southwest? You deep east? What? Y'all sound crazy. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. There's some questionable areas in our city that makes you go, what's going on over here? Right? Okay? But that does not take away the fact that if we gonna do this thing, then we gonna do this thing. But if you ain't about doing it, then you gonna have to move and jump ship because you wasting people time. Stop wasting my time. That's why there are certain family members I cut. We ain't family. You a relative. We ain't family because family move different. I literally helped my brother for 12 years while he was locked up. Took his son to see him. Barely had gas to get to where I needed to be. And you want to come home and try to do something to me? You sitting around having negative conversations about me? I almost got ran off the road dealing with these white people going to see you at Ionia and Carson City and all these other prisons. The only prison that I didn't get a chance to see my brother in was the one they put him in the Upper Peninsula. I wasn't going across that bridge in the wintertime. There are some things that you just got to say enough is enough. If we going to do this, then let's do this. If we ain't going to do this, then I need you to get away from me. Because right now, I need all my energy for what God has placed in my spirit to do in ministry. And regardless of if you ain't preaching behind a pulpit, you have influence in your area. If you the OG, you have a responsibility to teach these young men. Come on, man. I was there, bro. I already know what tip you on. Back then it was white tees, tall tees, and baggy jeans. Now it's little tees and skinny jeans. All we did was switch out outfits, same mentality. I gotta hustle. I gotta scam. I gotta figure it out. We scraping. We wouldn't have to scrape if I bring my little bit of crumbs. You bring your crumbs. You bring your crumbs. You bring yours. Guess what? Now we got a loaf. Everybody won't have to be so scarce. Because when you live in a world of scarcity and not have enough and lack thereof, the minute that you get something, you covering it like this. You eating like you in prison. You know, when you in prison, you in jail, you don't want nobody touching your food. So you got to guard your stuff, right? Okay? And you doing this, and as you doing it, you watching everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't know what's happening. Why does it feel like we in prison and we ain't in prison? Why you holding on to your blessings like this so that can't nobody else penetrate, get through? That ain't how that's supposed to work. And when you know that there's somebody that could potentially change the trajectory of your own life, the lives of others, why wouldn't you not support that? Why wouldn't you support that? Why would you not support that? Because see, at the end of the day, a lot of us have so much life to live. We got so much life to live. We got so much life that God wants us to live. And that legacy that you're talking about, that you want to leave, those people that we call legends, the Muhammad Alis, the Martin Luther Kings, the the W.E.B. Du Boises, the Phyllis Wheatleys, and the Aretha Franklins. All of those legends, they needed somebody. They didn't do none of this by themselves. Didn't y'all see any of their biopics? Now, some of it may not have always been true, but at the end of the day, it took people to get people in their right place. And you better be careful that you don't hinder somebody else's destiny because you and your ego, you and your pride, you don't want to let somebody in. You don't want to let somebody win or get before you. Let me tell you something. You know whose relationship I love? I love Oprah and Gail's relationship. I don't know them personally, not yet. They're my homegirls. But one thing's for sure, two things for certain. You know what I love? Gail, she was a friend. And being a friend is more powerful than any job title that you can get when you connected with somebody. You could be their friend. Guess what? You get put on just for being a friend. For real. Not when it's convenient. Not when you want to fake and act like we cool for the people, but no, a real friend. Somebody that you can trust. Somebody that's going to keep your secrets. And if y'all fall out, you ain't got to worry about your business being blasted on the bulletins of scandalism. People that's going to hold you down. People that's going to hold you accountable and hold you up when you can't hold you up. And when you're able to do that, guess what? She put her friend on. She put her friend in position. Gail is the chief editor of the old magazine. She's an anchor on this TV show. She do this on this TV show. Guess all of this because she was being a friend. Bible says you want to be a friend, should be friendly. You want friends, be friendly. Show yourself as a friend. Show yourself as somebody that's honorable. That's actually going to be a woman and a man of your word, like I said earlier, and do what you say you going to do. Listen, I ain't going to hold y'all up because I got stuff to do today. Listen, my name is Zsa Zsa Hubbard. You tuning in, and yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, y'all already know what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add more to it, okay? Listen, at the end of the day, I want you to understand a few things. A, you are accountable for you, your actions. You are not accountable for nobody else's actions. Now, if their actions do not line up with their words, cut them loose. Stop staying around dead weight. We ain't got time to carry dead weight in 2022. It's the beginning of the year. I ain't got time for nobody BS. You don't want to be my friend no more, bye. You don't want to be with me no more, bye. You don't want to work with me, okay, bye. Guess what? It's billions of people in this world. See, some people get tripped up on people who walk away. Let me tell you something. I'm Fantasia. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. You are not obligated, nor are you bound to anybody or anything. And I told my son that. And if you have children, because right now our children are being influenced by social media. And if you are not grounded as a woman, as a man, as a parent, guess what? You are going to raise weak kids. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. All we're going to do is repopulate the same type of people. We're going to teach the same type of ignorant stuff to our children. Oh, yeah, focus more on materialistic things than actually having integrity. Oh, yeah, focus on getting the money, but don't focus on saving it, rebuilding it, reinvesting it. Oh, yeah, focus on being popular and chasing the fame. Oh, but don't worry about you could be a liar and be dishonest. These are the things that we have to make sure that we are implementing and developing within our youth. And it don't mean you got to start a whole mentorship. Start with your little cousins, okay? Start with the neighbors in the hood. Start with the ones at your church or the ones in the little community center. There are people assigned to you, but you got to walk in your assignment. There you go. Yeah, y'all heard it there. Yeah, I said it before I take it back. I'm going to add more to it, and I know you heard me the first time. Listen, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know Zsa Zsa. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. And I said subscribe to my YouTube channel already. You know Zsa Zsa, because that's you do. You wouldn't have been here if you ain't know me. And if you don't know me, you go get to know me, okay? Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I love y'all. Have a great day. Peace.